Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Grassroots Racer. Before we get into this week's show, I want to give a big shout out to Lucas Roberts from Insane Chassis here in Bendigo, for helping me fix a few things on my race car before the Formula V's are back at Sandown. So we really do appreciate the support. But on to tonight's guest, who loves all types of motorsports just as much as me. If he was given the chance to drive anything, he definitely would. So he's done a bit of everything from rally circuit racing. He enjoys watching endurance racing, where he hopes maybe one day he could be given the opportunity. He's been on the podium at Bathurst, and he'd love to have overseas do a few 24-hour events. Because they are quite challenging, but they are also really fun. He does work as a coach as well at Fastrack V8 experiences up in New South Wales, and he competes in improved production when he can. So I can't wait to hear more about his motorsport journey. And it's a big welcome to Dave Worrell from Chook Bum Racing. How are you tonight, Dave?
Good, mate. Yourself?
I'm great. And what was the point in your life when you thought that you wanted to start racing?
It was born and bred into me. I don't think we ever had a chance to. Um, my dad was a racer when he was younger, and basically my first time driving a car was on his lap going down a hill behind a VL 5 litre Commodore sort of thing. As a 4 or 5 year old kid, but yeah, he was racing ever since he could. Him and his granddad, or my granddad, his dad, bolting cars together in the middle of the shed, try working out different things and all that sort of stuff. And then sitting on the couch watching Bathurst with him when I was younger. Unfortunately, my parents couldn't really afford to put me through karting and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, Dad was the one that got me into it. And then later on in life, I remember when I first went home and told him, bought a race car. You could see the smile on his face, and he sort of looked at me and saw Mum and went, "You're a bloody idiot." But he secretly had the big smile on his face, and that was it. Didn't look back.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I'm being completely honest. I'm very lucky with the opportunity I've been given to race since I was a little boy. I begged my parents, and they caved in one day. So I've yeah, I honestly the opportunity to kart is brilliant, but I do think that you know, it's good racecraft and all, but when you step into a car, it's a totally different feeling.
Oh, it's a totally different world. Like we used to do like your normal hire go karting and all that sort of stuff. And it was always the challenge between the brothers, my two eldest brothers, of who would actually get them and who would actually win and all that sort of stuff. And there was fierce rivalry there, yeah, sort of thing. So yeah,
Yeah,
but totally different to a car.
yeah, my brother never was into motorsport when he was really young, and then yeah, he got into it a little bit, and yeah, every when we go rental karting every now and again, he still tries to pick off at me and get closer and closer. One day you might beat me. One day.
One day, I'm the same. Now I'm sort of leaving them a little bit now. My other brothers did drag racing and stuff like that, and the oldest brother did a little bit of circuit racing and a little bit of rally sort of stuff,
Mm.
but never sort of got fully into it. But yeah, I've sort of left them behind a bit now.
Mm. And what was the first category of cars you got into, and when did it sort of click for you and you said, this is what I want to do?
So basically, obviously, Dad, and I was harassing Dad. I want to buy a go kart. I want to buy a race car. Blah blah blah, all that sort of stuff. It took. I was working for Hunter Holden at Ride, and a really good friend of mine, Adam Tipping, was we call them Tippers, came up to me and said, "Toyo Sports Car Club are putting on an event over the Easter long weekend. Um, Come and have a crack." Which is basically Toyo Sports is a real grassroots, run what you bring car club, and they do autocrosses and carnocrosses and all that sort of stuff. So me being an apprentice mechanic at the time, I went, I can't really afford it. And the other bloke went, I can't really afford it either. So we went and bought a car together. It was a KE 55 Corolla. Paid $300 for it. Went and did the event, had a ball. on the dirt circuit up there at Colo. Literally the next week, during the week, I went, this is it. I'm doing it. I went to the bank, got I can't remember, I think it was like a $6,000 bank loan, saw a Gemini rally car, and went and bought my rally car. And as I went home and said to my dad, I went, I bought a race car. And look at me, bloody idiot. But yeah, every rally I went on, he was there towing me around and everything. I haven't looked back ever since.
Yeah, autocross and motorcarnas it's some of the best racing you can do because you're against the clock. You're not out there you are there to beat people, but you're there for a bit of personal enjoyment, learn how to control
I
a car.
agree, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with tyre sports, you have literally, they call it the dirt circuit. It's up at Colo, which is probably about 40 minutes north of Sydney, sort of thing, Windsor area. And have everything from a N15 Pulsar up against the ARC WRX, and they'll be within like 3 seconds of each other on this dirt circuit. It is absolutely crazy. It's a full driver track. It comes down to the driver, and it doesn't matter how much horsepower you got. But in saying that as well, you got your four-wheel drive turbo classes, NA classes, two-wheel drive juniors, all that sort of stuff as well. So, yeah.
So, yeah. When I first started, Dad bought my first car. It was a Hyundai Getz. We paid $300 for that. And the guy delivered it to us.
That's awesome. Winning.
Yeah. So that ran very well for the first 2 years of what we were doing. Then I bought a Subaru, just a 99 GC8 Impreza, which is actually for sale right now. We bought it as a rear-wheel drive because the guy who had it took the front drive shafts out, which was perfect for us anyway because I'm a junior. I'm not allowed to run all-wheel drive. So yeah, we ran in that, and
that's why you got to come up to Colo, because you can run four-wheel drive up here.
Yeah, all right. Got to see if someone.
You got to come up here now.
Got to see if someone wants to pay $3,500 though for my Subaru.
Oh, there'll be someone out there, mate. There'll be someone out there to do it.
I mean, in all honesty, it's a pretty good deal because we're throwing in brand new rally tires, which are $410 a piece each tire.
Cheering.
A roll cage or half a cage. It also comes with the front of it, not complete. I've got a hydro handbrake in it. Yeah, there's a fair bit to it. So
before you sell it, you should take it in the base stages starters rally. Get you and your dad, jump in, go to base stages starters rally, and have a crack. It's pretty good. That's a good event. I've done the starters rally. It's as long as you can get unregistered vehicle permit on it. Go and have a crack, you and your dad, before you sell it. You'll absolutely love it and have a ball doing it.
It's a pretty good car just for starting out, whatever, But motorcarnas aren't really for. I mean, there are people who spend $30,000 at our level, but you shouldn't be spending more than that.
No, they're crazy. I could say some things, but I'll be quiet about that.
Yeah, no, it's all right. But when you're at home, what series of racing do you enjoy watching?
I love watching the GT races. The Spa 24-hour, Le Mans, all that sort of stuff. As growing up, I love my supercars, Group A's, all that sort of stuff. But I'm sort of more into the GT classes and Le Mans, as I said, Nürburgring 24-hour. Le Mans 24-hour. I love the endurance side of things. It doesn't just come down to, I know with supercars and all your sprint racing sort of stuff, it's more than just one person. But with an endurance race, it's a whole team, every single person for the whole time in there that's got to do that mark, point after point after point after point. And for a team to build a car that can go flat knacker and cop the punishment something does for 24 hours straight, it's unbelievable. It's really good. That's what I like about it. And it's good close racing. That's the sort of stuff I'm into,
Yeah, definitely.
How about yourself?
Well, I enjoy a bit of everything. I'm just a motorsport enthusiast, but when the supercars is on, I'll sit down and watch it. Watching watch Cam Waters pole it, and then drop back in
Yep.
the race. No. We love Cam, but um, we're a Ford man. I'm a Ford man, so my dad's been Ford all his life, so it's just something I've been bred into.
Born and bred into. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was born and bred into the Holdens.
yeah, you get that. GT racing, GT racing's really good as well. I can sit down and watch. We were actually watching on YouTube when the Le Mans was on 24 hour. We were watching, I think, a Ferrari's on board, one of the
Yep.
hypercars. They've actually done really well this year. But yeah,
Oh, that's
just a
phenomenal.
bit of everything. Sometimes I watch the Formula One. My brother's
Yep.
really into it. He's watched every Grand Prix live except for one since 2018 or 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big
Yeah,
Ferrari.
I love my Formula One.
Yeah.
Obviously not as much as I used to, but
Mm.
I'll still watch it, record them, and watch them when I can. I don't start and watch them live anymore. Because obviously that's the pinnacle of motorsport, you know.
Yeah.
But very similar to yourself. If it's a motor and it's got wheels and there's someone driving it, I'll sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
I love my motorsport, even bike racing as well.
Mm.
Yeah, that I went over and watched the Isle of Man TT a
Oh,
couple of years ago,
mm.
and those guys are nuts.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, same thing. It's as long as it's got a motor and wheels, I'll watch it.
Yeah, definitely. Like me and Dad, we sit down and we love to watch racing. We watched Pikes Peak the other day. We watched Layla Block take a tribute to her dad, Ken
Yep.
Block, take a Porsche 911
Yeah,
up. So yeah, we just watch a bit of everything. Really.
nice. That was one of my fondest memories. Was watching the Adelaide Formula One with Dad, and then I got introduced to Pines Peak, and it was
Mm.
Ari Vartner with Climb and Dance, heading up the mountain. And ever since then, it was like, wow, that place is awesome. And I fell in love with Ari Vartner then as well. And yeah, so it was a massive fan of Pines Peak. It's
Yeah.
not as good as what it used to be. Yeah, it's
Mm.
now not as good as what it used to be. I believe it's all tarmac now, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a place. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely. I like when I say I watched it, I didn't really. Like I'm into rally and stuff, but I'm not. I couldn't name a lot of drivers who race Pikes Peak and whatnot. But
Yeah.
we also Dad. I was actually at work, so I couldn't watch it. But Dad watched Shane Van Gisbergen race the NASCAR around Chicago. We're
Yeah, I
not.
saw this half of that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was good.
yeah. Like we said, we're
What
not.
I loved about that. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, we're not Holden fans, but when we saw Shay, New Zealander, we might as well watch it, see how he goes.
Yeah,
Bloody
a bit
what a
of
thing.
pride sort of thing, yeah. What I loved about it, because I was watching the telecast and they're sitting there and they're talking about all these NASCAR drivers and all that sort of stuff that yeah, are really good in the wet and really good on a street circuit and blah blah blah, all that sort of stuff. Not one of them mentioned Shane. And I'm sitting there going, but they don't know who this guy is. Like
Yeah,
this guy's a freak. Like, he's come out of nowhere and he's put, I think it was what, second or third or somebody put it on
yeah,
in qualifying. And like in the wet, like this is his domain. Like, be careful, guys. And
yeah.
sure enough, bang, went through. He killed it. He did well. Like, he did really well. I was cheering for him. He did really well.
He drove awesomely. But driving a Chevy, can't have that. But
Oh, nothing beats a chef, mate.
Ford.
I like it how they were also trying to. I like how they were also trying to say he is cheating by using the three pedals as well. Thought that was a good one too.
Oh, it's just basic car control.
Basically, yeah, yeah,
But when you said your first response was GT racing when I asked what you watch. So, would you ever like to? Well, I know you've done Bathurst. We'll cover that later. Um, but
yeah.
would you ever like to sort of do a longer endurance race? Sit down, maybe
Within
an
a heartbeat.
LMP3 or
Within a
something.
heartbeat. Within a heartbeat, mate. I've looked at it so many times. Just before COVID hit, for my 40th, I was whether you call it a midlife crisis or what. I had it all planned. I was ready to go over to get my Nürburgring license over there. And then obviously COVID hit, and that couldn't happen. But yeah, within a heartbeat, definitely want to do the 24-hour over at the Nürburgring and Spa 24-hour, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, within a heartbeat, I wouldn't even think twice. I wouldn't even have to be a GT3 or a GT4 or an LMP. I'd do it in
The
a
Miata.
BMW, a Miata, exactly, or a Lada, anything. Just the experience. I've driven the track a couple of times, and it's unreal. I call it a weird love affair or anything, but yeah, one day I'll get to that. I'll get to the ring one day.
Actually, one day I sat down with a sponsor when I was trying to, get a new partner on board, and they said to me, "Look, we really like what you do, and we want to jump on board, but what is your goal?" And I said, I've never really thought about it. I said, if I get paid to drive anything, I said that'd probably be my goal. Just race at a professional level, get paid for it. It's
exactly right. Do what you get
yeah,
paid to do what you love.
That would be the dream. Because Formula One's nice and everything, but I think I would have to be in Europe 2 years ago and got to have at least 20 million.
Yeah, everyone's had to pay for their drive in Formula One some way or the other.
Yeah.
Well, Hamilton has, Schumacher did. Yeah,
Mm.
they all have to get into it, and unfortunately, it takes a lot of money to get into it. I don't get me wrong. Hamilton has family had to sacrifice a hell of a lot to get him into it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, even Nicky Lauda, he sacrificed, but he still paid his way, you could say.
Yeah, 100%. He paid his way. But if you got the drive and the determination and all that sort of stuff, you'll make it happen, and it'll come.
Mm.
Yeah, it's if a person's telling you, oh, you're never going to make it, you're never going to do it, you're never going to do this, you're never going to amount to anything. 9 times out of 10, that person hasn't even got off their ass and had a crack at half the stuff you've done.
That's why I like my local partners, because they said, look, you're a local kid giving it a crack. We're going to get behind you.
And that's it.
It's something to do. And, one of my sponsors said, we like to help you out because it keeps you off the streets. So
that's one way to look at it. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm not a bad kid, but oh well, yeah.
That's all right. We won't tell anyone.
But what are some personal hardships in your life that you've had to push forward to, continue your racing, if that's okay, obviously.
Don't tell them this, but I've probably dumped girlfriends for my racing for certain motorsports, sort of things like that. Obviously, money. Doing whatever I can to get the car on the grid. There's times where it's like, okay, if I got to, I suppose you could say, like, put food in the mouth compared to put stuff in the race car to get it to the track, sort of thing. There's times where I've gone to race meetings and gone, shit, tires, paid for tires, paid for this, paid for that. But then you're like, oh shit, how am I going to live for the next month or so? It's everything. Motorsport's hard. Like, I don't have any financial sponsors, so to speak. I've had a couple that have helped me out along the way with stuff, but yeah, it's always a struggle.
Yeah,
I suppose you could say. Like, not trying to get the violin out or anything like that. But I'm grateful for a lot of my really good friends, and I'm a qualified mechanic myself, so I can do a lot of the work on it myself as well. All my friends as well will pitch in and help out whenever they can, and same vice versa. I'm the same as them. I'll jump in and give them a hand whenever I can as well. Literally, my Commodore now is built in our driveway. Welding the roll cage in at 12 o'clock at night, sort of thing. Spray painting the car in the driveway just to get paint down on it so we can get it out to go do a test session in it. So there's been a lot of ups and downs along the way, but you know what? Every day you can what people don't understand is the feeling and the feeling the car puts on gives you the feeling the car gives you. Yeah, the smile it puts on your face as soon as you start it up, or you jump on that grid and you're off down the track. Yeah, you can't. People don't understand it. It doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, it's such a surreal feeling when you line up on the grid, like especially in the state series, like in the Formula V. You know, you've got all these Formula cars surrounded you. You've just built up heaps of nerve, and you're on the grid. Well, I don't really like how they do the lights. It's like red light, bang, straight out.
Yeah,
but sometimes it can feel like forever that you're sitting there.
Yeah, I agree, and it feels like it's for everyone goes, oh, everything must happen quick, blah blah blah. It's like, no, it's the opposite. Everything's in slow motion.
Oh yeah.
Everything to me, I don't know about yourself and other drivers and that, but to me, everything's just in slow motion. Just slows down, and you go and like, okay, I'm going to go over there now. Or what lights are out now? I'll go there and so forth.
Yeah. It's just a thing of keeping relaxed and I guess sort of thinking ahead. You really want to think ahead, but you don't want to think too far ahead. Just
It always goes out the window.
Yeah.
To think ahead, it always goes out the window.
Yeah. Well, like I even remember, I'm not sure if you like how long you've been following me or whatnot, but I had a big accident at Winton last year. So I come in the corner and virtually the rear end stepped out on me, and as I caught it, it caught, and I skipped the gravel trap and hit the wall head on.
Which corner was that?
Turn 3.
Turn 3. I'll let you on a little secret. Winton.
Yeah.
You can beep that out later. A couple of months ago, we were testing the BMW down there. I'd never driven Winton, and never driven Winton before. And I was in a race down there, and I think the 6 hour was like 3 weeks away or something like that. And yeah, last turn, I was pushing to get a car in front, the run on for him, and all that sort of stuff. And I went into the wall coming onto the straight there. Got a bit of a tank slapper and went into the wall. I still don't know 100% what happened. I think the second last corner, I think it's turn 11, I think. I went through there, it was fine, but overshot a little bit, sort of the pit entrance. I think the car was on the grass, left-hand rear wheel was on the grass a bit. Turned it in, and then, she's gone out, and I was used to the power of the Commodore. Excuse me. And, there was nothing there. She a bit of a tank slapper and went straight into the wall. So, it made me feel really, really small.
Yeah.
Especially with the 6 hour coming up. So, yeah.
Yeah. It was just like, I remember when it happened, because I skipped the gravel trap, I actually flew over it and went straight in at like 130, 120. So I sat there in my car and I thought to myself, this can't be real. And I like put my head in my hands thinking, what's just happened? And I went through the whole procedure. I turned the kill switch off, undid my belts, jumped out. And for me, it felt like a good minute. And then when I watched the broadcast, it was 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's quick.
Crashed, got out. Yeah. It's
the same when you stall a car on the grid. You'd be surprised how quick you get that car started and you get the hell out of there again. It looks like it for ages, but it feels like ages, but it's just boom, done, gone, and you're out of there.
And everything feels slower, especially when you're driving a Volkswagen.
This is true.
Yeah. The Formula V's, we do go quick, but at the end of the day, we are just a 1600 Volkswagen.
That's it, mate. They're a self-oil changing machine.
Well, half the oil's on the ground half the time, but
that's what I mean. Self-draining, self-changing. No, they're a good car. These I do like them.
Yeah, they're a good car, except for the fact you have to do the tappets every morning. But
minor details.
Yeah. But what has been your favorite part of racing? Not necessarily just winning, but what's your favorite moment in racing?
I'm going to say everything, to be honest with you. There's been a lot of downs. My first ever rally was pretty cool. And the fact that we finished that and all that sort of stuff. The be all and end all would probably be standing on the podium at Bathurst with two of my best mates and with a lot of our really good friends on the pit crew as well. Coming from an idea, I think it was like 8 months beforehand or something like that, at a barbecue, standing around drinking, having a drink, going, you know what, let's have a crack at Bathurst. And we did. And that would be the absolute goal, like the absolute dream. Because I remember as a kid going, all I want to do is race Bathurst. I raced Bathurst beforehand, and then it was like, I want to race Bathurst. I want to win Bathurst as a kid, but you get to race it in a couple of the categories and all that, and you go, this place is unreal, all that sort of stuff, and you get your addiction, and then you actually kick something off your bucket list that you've been wanting to do ever since a kid. And then to do it a couple of times is just unreal. It's just phenomenal.
Well, my top 3 tracks from Australia was, third was Sydney Motorsport Park because it's far away from me. Second was Calder Park, and first was Bathurst.
Yeah,
I've done Calder Park. I've not done Sydney or Bathurst. And about 85%, I reckon, of my guests on here have done Bathurst.
I've done. My next track I want to do is Spa. I want to have a drive of Spa. I've done Phillip Island, the Bend. Where else have I done? Bathurst, Wakefield, Calder Park, both international track, including the Oval. That was cool. What else? Done Queensland Morgan Park, done Nürburgring. I've done a couple of laps over in WA. I think it's not Malala. I can't think of the name of the track.
Wanneroo?
Well, mate Ash is going to, possibly. I think mate Ash is going to kill me now.
Father Gallo. No, is that something?
One's a supercar racer. Anyway, did that one over there. Did that at the start of this year. I think my favourite tracks in Australia are obviously Phillip Island and Bathurst. I think they're pretty close to each other. Phillip Island's an absolutely amazing track.
Yeah.
And Sandown as well.
Sandown as well. I love Sandown. Did you ever get to drive the old layout, the one where they didn't go from turn 7 onwards, where you turned back into the... Yeah.
No, unfortunately, no. I've only sort of been doing it last couple of years, while doing a bit of driver coaching with Fastrack and with Fastrack experiences and stuff. So started doing that last couple of years. So
yeah.
Hopefully get down there again soon.
Fastrack's a really cool company. When I went to Calder a few weeks ago to test the V. I was with the Dream Racing Australia boys. They've got all the V8 supercars at the back.
Yeah, they got that's their main base down there. They're really good guys.
Yeah.
Fastrack. Anyone wants to drive a V8 Commodore, or just to have some sort of learn. It's a really good experience. The coaches are good. They're like a family. The owners they're really good. George Elliott. He's driven everything from a Joe's shitbox down the road all the way up to NASCARs in America. There's a real larrikin as well as such really good. You got Luffy, and that's part of the bucket list as well. Sitting there working with greats of the sport like them and John Bow and all those sort of stuff. And Ryan Gilroy and others to mention as well. The list goes on. And people, some of the I don't mean to sound nasty, but some of the customers they get in the car, they don't know who the people are sitting there beside them, sort of thing. Like it's funny, we always get it. I'll pull up pull up and Blake's like, oh, no, I don't want to get into him. He's in a Commodore, you know, or he's in a Ford, or I want a Ford, or I want a Falcon, all that sort of stuff. And I'll be like, you do realise this guy's won Bathurst, yeah, something like that. And then they all quickly jump up and like, oh, yeah, I want to get in, I want to get in. And she changes their mind real quick.
Yeah, Luffy was a great interview. So was Ryan, and so was John. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
they're all I've
all
had a
good
while
guys.
here.
Yeah, all good
Did you just
guys.
name them because you know they've been on here?
No, I didn't. No, no, no.
Yeah,
I had a good battle with Ryan at Bathurst in the 6 hours. So yeah,
yeah,
I know
yeah,
Ryan. He's a good bloke.
yeah. Good bloke. But have you accomplished everything you'd like to for now, or is there anything else you want to do in the near future?
Short answer is: have I accomplished anything? Everything I wanted? No, never finished.
Fair.
Always got to strive and change for something bigger and higher. Um, I've got a project underway at the moment. I can't really sort of say too much about it. Hopefully, it's going to be a bit of a game changer, especially in the 6 hour category. Something that hasn't been done before in the 6 hour, and let alone in Australia. And I will get over and do something overseas. Hopefully, it is the Nürburgring or Spa 24 hour. So yeah, they're the next big things I want to do.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll get the V8 out again soon. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. And is there anyone you'd like to thank who's helped you along the way?
Oh, the list. Where do I go? How much time have we got?
3 minutes and
Mate,
42 seconds.
all right, okay. All right, I've got him. I wrote it down here. First of all, Queen Bee Diesel Service. Ros and Derek have been there since day one, literally from when I got my rally car. They were the first people that wanted stickers on the car, and they're still there now. They've been absolutely phenomenal. Penrite Oil, they supply all my products, oil products and all that sort of stuff. Turbo Smart, they help me out with fuel pressure regs and all that sort of stuff. Voodoo Motorsport, Curtis down there is absolutely amazing. Dave Allen from DJA Automotive as well. TRS, Transport Refrigeration Services, they're really good. They helped us out for the 6 hour. Mad Max Racing for helping with the 6 hour along the way as well. Sim side of things, WKMP Sim Sports. What else? Who's that? Bay 21 Coffee. They're different sponsors. Bay 21 Coffee, Barella Cabinets, the pool guys in Adelaide, Dave 37 Racing. The list goes on and on and on and on. And if I didn't answer them, I'm sorry, guys.
That's all right. Well, we really appreciate you coming on, Dave. And how could I forget? How'd you come up with Chook Bum Racing?
Chook Bum Racing, TCB Racing, it's a bit of a tribute to my granddad. He had a pet dog, and it was called Chook Bum. Every time he told a story, it would just bring tears to his eye of laughing and all that sort of stuff. So, and in turn, with him laughing and all that sort of stuff, always used to make us laugh and cry as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, bit of a tribute to him. TCB Racing, Team Chook Bum.
Cool.
So
cool. Well, we really appreciate you coming on tonight, Dave, and talking to us about your brilliant racing journey so far. So we wish you luck for the future, and if you're racing this weekend, remember to drive fast and take chances safely, of course.
will do. Thanks, mate. Much appreciated.